This episode is about a month late. Our April recording session was a long one with lots of good bullshitting, so I wanted to get all of it out in 3 separate episodes. This is the only group recording in May, and we talked about some very shitty studies, including one that was actually about shit. We kind of randomly talked about body dysmorphic disorder, a topic I'd like to explore in depth someday if we get a chance and find someone qualified to talk about it. And we chatted a bit about atheism and the silly things theists think of us. This is episode 30, recorded on May 15th, 2015. I'm Cory, and joining me were Mike, Rene, Destin, and Dave.
We can say definitively that religions are all full of shit.
Amen, brother.
Well, you know me, I don't buy into BS.
I get paid to sign.
I don't fit into human nature.
Do not dumb here, not dumb Mary here.
What the hell was my point?
Brainstorm.
What happens when a family eats only organic food for 2 weeks?
All food's organic. Next.
No, but these people,
No, I'm right.
They this Swedish family has eaten only organic for 2 weeks as part of a study conducted by the Swedish Environmental Research Institute.
Oh, so they're sick.
The study, commissioned by Swedish supermarket chain Coop, saw the family dramatically change its diet with impressive results. Impressive.
Bad results can be impressive.
Is it wrong that I'm really resisting the urge to go bork, 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 bork?
Yes, we have a listener in Sweden, you know.
See, studies like this, they're not saying what their diet was before. Maybe they live on the street and didn't have one.
Well,
we changed their diet to actually incorporate food.
Which might actually be detrimental.
Well, basically, they tested their urine, and then
Tasted?
did I say tasted? I hope I didn't. They tasted.
You'll have to listen closely when you're editing.
Okay, they tested.
Well, I guess if they're doing organic food, then that's where you organically test something is you taste it.
I guess without any labs involved.
Well, it's organic urine, so.
Yeah. So they tested the urine and found beforehand they had these levels of certain pesticides in their urine. And then afterwards, when they were testing their urine, when they were on the organic diet, they didn't find the levels of pesticides.
Does that taste like Roundup to you? Okay, yeah, so there's pesticides in the urine for the non-organic. I hate that. So what?
Well, yeah. It's not their blood. It's their urine.
Yeah, so that means that their kidneys...
like non-organic food. So this shows that the pests don't like organic food. So we didn't have to guard against them.
Oh, pesticides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to use pesticides to guard against pests for the organic food.
I would say it shows that their kidneys and livers are working.
Or they tested only for
certain kinds
Bladders.
of pesticides, and therefore it didn't show up in the urine.
Would someone do that? Just go and lie about something like that?
Well, and a health
On the
food
internet?
grocery store may have something
Yeah,
at stake in this.
they in fact do, don't they?
There
But
was
does it taste good?
the urine.
Well, it's now it has no pesticides in it.
Yeah. Skeptic did a really good
Rebuttal?
rebuttal, yes. The left chart shows nanograms per millimeter of each substance before the family eats organic median, and the right shows the same during the weeks with organic food median.
So in the two comparisons, or the two examples, are they eating the exact same food? Like, do they each consume 32 ounces of red meat each week? Because if the comparison isn't using the exact same food, fuck it.
Yeah,
It means nothing.
I'm not exactly sure how strict the guidelines. I mean, it's
The
one
organic-
family anyway, right? So
Yeah.
it wouldn't.
The organic
mean
food where
anything.
there was no pesticide was all meat. There was no vegetables at all, or
that's
grain.
right.
Right.
No, the whole thing is that it's an appeal to emotion anyway, right? Because
course it
they've
is.
got kids and they got, oh, well, we're not poisoning the kids with this now. And
Well, and it's a direct appeal to people that don't do any research or think.
they
Not
see
just
a
emotion.
chart, they
Yeah.
see a picture, they see the kid.
Yeah. It's
Pesticides are bad, okay.
reactionist, right?
It's an amazing sample size.
Yeah, one family.
Yeah.
Yeah, very impressive.
A very impressive study.
Yeah. Yeah, a very impressive one family sample size backed by a health food grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There may be something questionable about it.
It's not a conflict of interest at all.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, and it was the owner of the store's family.
Jeez. I don't know. I don't think it was quite that bad, but
Well, the other side of the GMO thing with that, they want all GMOs labeled, right, for all their ingredients. Why can't we demand that of all organic foods?
Because if you label it as organic, it's a whole lot less scary.
Because it's got no chemicals.
Yeah, it's got no chemicals. What's in this carrots? Well, carrots. Okay.
yeah. It sounds less scary.
It sounds less scary.
I was actually trying to explain to somebody at work that there's cyanide in the apple they were eating. And they're like, no, it's organic. Never mind. Walk away.
Is it apples or I know it's peaches? That's how you derive.
And
cyan.
apple seeds. Yeah.
Is it apple seeds as well? Yeah.
Just a lot less.
And your banana is radio fucking active.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
right.
That's going to be the first episode of the YouTube show that we're going to start.
Called Your Banana is Radioactive.
Have you started the YouTube channel yet?
No, we're still working on it. Slowly, very slowly. So, no, I'm not.
So we're not plugging it yet.
We're not plugging it. But, never mind.
Soon,
Skip it.
though, right?
So in other words, it hasn't quite got past the we're drunk and bullshitting stage.
No, I've got some storyboards that worked out for it.
Oh, good.
I wouldn't want you to work at work.
You know, my boss says that like every day. What are you doing? I'm just fucking around on Facebook. Oh, good, because we wouldn't want you to do any work while you're here. Okay, I won't. Don't worry.
Not a problem.
Give
She
money.
may want to stop saying that.
Yeah, I'm known for my honesty. At work.
I was gonna, is that a good thing for a car
just a drop of
salesman?
sales. Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I've actually had people say, "Why should I buy this car?" And I said, "Because I want to get paid." Also, these other reasons, but
Because reasons.
yeah, just to piss you off. The reason is because of these reasons.
Sirik keeps trying to do that to me, eh? He keeps saying, Dad, ask me this. And I'm like, no. He says, no, ask me. Okay, I'll ask you. Why do you want to do this? Because reasons. Oh, for Christ's sakes, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
That's not reasons. That's not a reason. So annoying. But it's, I guess, what the kids are doing now.
It's very, very internet-y.
Yeah.
It is.
Meanwhile, he's just sitting there going, yeah, pissing them off.
Yeah.
What's that other new phrase? Twittercule?
Oh,
What's that? I haven't heard that one.
Ridiculing somebody via Twitter.
Oh, Twitter culing. Okay. What about, have you guys heard
Whoever
versing?
made up that word, I'm taking away their license to make up words.
Yeah. What about versing? You heard that one?
no.
When one team plays against another, they're versing each other.
Oh, no.
Is this the whole this new thing of turning everything into a verb?
Yeah, I think it might be part of it. Like, Sayla was doing it the other day with soccer. She's got to go, oh, we're versing the yellow team. No, you're not. No, that's not a word. You're playing against them. You're competing against them. But you're not versing anybody. They just take the verses and they wreck it.
Well, because versing is already a word. That's the thing that sucks about that. You know, if you're well versed in something, you've been versed in it, right?
Right, yeah.
Or even well versed in something. If you're versing someone, that means something quite different.
Yeah.
I'm versing you in this right
I'm
now.
So it's basically teaching
Sure.
or making you understand, I guess.
Making
So you're
you
not
understand.
competing against me.
I think that's the definition of teaching. It might be
Versing.
versing.
Kids wreck everything.
Verbing weirds the language.
Especially vaginas.
So apparently there was a thing going around about beards having a bunch of shit in them.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a shit article.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pun
Says
intended.
the guy with the beard.
Yeah.
Well,
But it
there's
was clearly nonsense. I don't understand how it gained any traction at all. And first,
on the internet.
People are stupid.
Yeah.
Except for you, listener.
That one listener.
oh shit, that's not. We got to slow down here. Somebody complained to me that we don't introduce ourselves.
Wait, you actually got an email?
We have to introduce ourselves.
Oh. I didn't think anyone cared.
Doesn't our thing at the beginning introduce us?
Well, no, it just says that the entire ensemble. It doesn't actually say who's in each episode.
Oh, okay. I'm Raz.
No.
Yeah. Nice.
Your smart ass comments tonight will be brought to you by Gumby.
As usual, I'm Cory.
I'm Rene.
He's usually
He's
Cory.
usually Cory.
I'm always Cory.
The rest of the time he's Cynthia. but you got to pay for that.
I'm quite often Mike.
But not quite always. Eh? Just slightly less than always. Yeah, we got a message about. Most podcasts introduce themselves and they all say hello, listener.
Oh, those are those professional ones.
So what was this person's name?
I don't know. They're a person on.
They didn't introduce
talk-
They
themselves.
didn't introduce themselves?
Well, I know their handle, not their name, right?
What about their spout?
Shut his mic off.
I was about to unplug it myself. My right to talk should be taken away after that. Anyway, back to beards. What's the difference between hair on your face and hair on your head? Besides location.
Your face is on your head, so I wouldn't even say location is the difference. Not at least if it
Face
wasn't.
versus top of the head.
Probably because
Now that you've made it obvious,
if you have a beard, you tend to, stroke it more, or something like that.
Maybe.
Nah.
Maybe.
you get food in it and shit.
Yeah. And according to this, shit as well.
Yeah. Well, this is why you need to stop attacking beards with shitty science.
This is nothing going to be nothing but shit puns, right?
Well, no, I think it's basically the science. It's just refuting the thing, right?
Because I saw, who's it? Snopes.com totally tore it apart too.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about fecal matter, it's everywhere in your house.
Basically, especially if you have kids.
And outside of your house. It's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the study had like a sample size of 2 guys with beards?
And apparently terrible hygiene.
Right after a barbecue.
And that's supposed to be representative of all beards.
All beards, yes. 2 beards equals all beards. Well, let's see. The science comes not from an actual study, but from an Albuquerque TV station swabbing a few dudes.
That just sounded wrong.
the entire dude.
Was that even legal in Albuquerque?
I'm pretty sure if you're going to swab an entire dude, you're going to get fecal matter.
Yeah. They sent the samples to sended.
That's the past tense of send.
We're just going to make up words from now on.
English is hard.
No, it's not.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
What do I need English for? I'm never going to England.
We need Canadian.
England.
They sent the sample. They sended the sample. They sent the samples to Quest Diagnostics.
And all of our American listeners are like, "What? What's so funny? What's happening?"
I don't understand the joke.
If you expect an apology, fuck you.
Hardly a
It was
valid
funny.
sample size or study design. Quest Diagnostics microbiologist John Golobic said some of the beards contained enteric bacteria.
Which is every fucking where.
Okay. Sorry, the entire world is full of enteric bacteria. There we go.
So is that a very scientific way of saying the world is full of shit?
No.
Oh, I was stretching for a joke there. I stretched too far. Went too far.
Yeah.
You've gone too far.
I'm sure if they had swabbed people's bare faces, women's hair, and a variety of things from keyboards or office chairs, they could finally find plenty of enterobacteria. Say, yeah, I can never see the big words.
You can't see them.
I can't see the big words.
They're too big for you to see.
They're way too big. And even if you did find species associated with illness, the odds are they won't be in high enough concentrations to make anyone sick.
Well, you got the word associated out pretty readily there.
Well, I know that word already.
That helps.
Yeah.
Hooked on phonics worked for him, at least for that word.
I read somewhere that Hooked on Phonics didn't work, actually.
Well, another thing for my childhood totally ruined.
Yeah.
Damn, I have to forget English now.
I don't think that's going to be a stretch for you.
English. If there were harmful bacteria that can hurt us, just everywhere, we'd all be dead. We wouldn't exist.
But isn't that like same as just a little while ago they were doing that study and saying how much, fecal matter and whatever else is on cell phones and whatever else. It's the same fear tactic that they do.
Because if you tell people there's shit on things, they'll click the link and they'll see the ads and you'll get paid.
You'll never believe what's on your ballpoint pen or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
There is harmful bacteria everywhere that can hurt us.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. But
it depends on where you put it. If you get it in your gut, not so bad. If you get it in your
bloodstream, you could die.
Yeah.
But I'm saying just common contact with it isn't going to kill you. Otherwise, we would not exist. Right.
Luckily, we have like other bacteria that counteracts that bacteria and bacteria that doesn't like each other. And,
Yeah, bacteria that keeps fungus down.
yeah, stuff like that. So a little bit of bacteria and a few beards.
Yeah.
Or two to be
Two
more
beards,
specific, is
couple.
basically meaningless. Yeah.
2 beards, 1 cup.
Now you know where the fecal matter came from.
I have to feel bad for those two dudes, hey? Like, what do you mean? I have shit in my beard? Like,
Yar, I'm Captain Shitbeard. Well, that's what he looks like, actually.
yeah, kind of. With
Maybe
his
shower every
little
once in a
baby
while
chicks
or something,
around.
you know?
Yeah.
But that's not organic.
Showering isn't organic.
Showering should be organic.
Should it be? I think organic, like you were talking about the word organ here, like organisms, isms, things made out of organs, or things containing organs. It's an organism.
It's an organism. The water is an organism?
I don't think water is an organism.
No. But it is organic.
No, it's a
It's
chemical.
not carbon based.
Just a chemical.
Just a chemical. And it's probably got a bacteria in it.
Hydrogen,
Or two.
and oxygen.
Do you know what's also? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
Mike, our scientist.
that water probably has fecal matter in it.
Probably does.
Probably, yeah.
Carrots have
Especially
fecal
if
matter
you
in them.
believe homeopaths.
Yeah.
No. The long lost drop of onion juice is infinite, but the water somehow forgot all the poo it's had in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't mention.
All I can think of right now is WC Fields. I never drink water because fish have made love in it.
Yeah. There was somebody else who said, "Oh, I can't drink water or whatever. Fish pee in there."
So do we.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water downstream from the buffalo pissing in it.
Yeah.
Unless you're making sure it's organic.
There's another one.
The urine.
I don't think urine is organic.
Well, you can tell if it doesn't have any
I could
pesticides.
be wrong.
Anyway.
You can tell
Jeez.
if it doesn't have any pesticides in it, then it must be.
It must be.
That buffalo isn't eating organic food. I can tell.
It's eating mineral food. Urine tastes like granite.
If you like the Brainstorm podcast and want to get more of it, you can go to patreon.com/brainstorm podcast for bonus material, early ad-free episodes, and a shout-out in the next episode. Special Brainstorm gear bonuses for different Patreon levels are available. You can get your own Brainstorm shirts, mugs, and lots more from cafepress.ca/brainstorm podcast gear. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of clothing. Atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
Yeah. So this one, junk food kills bacteria in your gut.
Which ones?
Yeah, the sample size for that is just fucking inspiring too.
Yeah.
Some guy's son.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, a sample size of 1. This seems to be a common theme among popular
People that don't science.
people that don't science.
Okay, you eat McDonald's for a while.
Oh, that sucked. Okay, it sucks for everyone. I think I read something about there being something to this.
Yeah,
like
there probably is.
But
newsflash: fast food isn't good for you.
yeah, that's right. But a varied diet is going to counteract that.
Or newsflash, eating the same shit all the time.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
right.
matter what it is.
A varied
isn't
diet.
good for you.
Yeah. You need to mix things up a little bit. Your Big Mac every day is not going to fucking help.
Well, you got to balance out with the chicken nuggets. That's balanced, isn't it?
If you eat it with honey sauce, it is.
Okay. Oh, okay. As long as it has the right condiment, it's all good.
No, because chicken nuggets are made out of that purple.
The pink goo?
The pink goo.
No, that's the meat patties.
Oh, that's meat patties. Whatever. Does it taste good?
And can Raz stuff it in his face hole.
Anyway, we were talking about junk food that kills stomach bacteria. I suppose it's probably likely that if you eat the same shit all the time, it's going to eliminate the bacteria that doesn't deal with that shit.
And eat enough McDonald's. It'll clear that system
that's
right out.
Like you're going to be...
Or lemons.
Lemons. I mean, we were kind of talking about that at supper a little bit with like different diets can make your body produce less of the enzyme that helps you digest that. So that's kind of a thing.
So that's not total bullshit, just mostly bullshit.
It's just a really, really shitty
It's meaningless is what it is.
Way to pretend that it's science.
It's a shitty study.
Yeah.
There's probably something there, but
it needs a real study to back it up, eh?
It would help. One guy going on McDonald's for a few weeks and testing out his own gut flora.
That's like that Supersize Me video or movie.
Yeah, documentary. It was interesting, but...
Yeah.
But, I mean, and it's just a rumor you read about in muscle magazines, but Kai Green, he competes in Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competitions, and he just ate McDonald's for like a year because he was too poor to eat anything except that. And he's a friggin' shredded as shit bodybuilder, so...
Wow.
It doesn't matter what you eat. It matters what you do.
To an extent, yeah. Like, I mean, calorie intake matters, but I mean, it's all combinations.
But I guess
right?
the difference between a guy that's eating it because he's poor and then going and working out like a madman and a guy that just eats it and just sits on his ass.
Yeah, that's just it. Yeah.
What are you saying?
It was directly aimed at you.
Yeah, as we're all sitting there except for Cory going, you know.
Yeah.
Well, no.
I am extremely comfortable. Everywhere I go, I'm comfy.
Someday I'd like to have a discussion about body dysmorphic disorder.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of interesting.
Because I was talking to Stephanie about it. Because I took a picture and, like, my gut, it's sticking way out.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, oh, my God, my arms are so tiny. And she's like, what the fuck? You're so weird.
Well, because in your head, you want to be fucking huge, swole right up.
Yeah, well, that's just it. But, I mean, there are moments where...
Swole.
Yeah. There are moments where I legitimately look down at parts of my body and see, like, the skinny guy that I always was.
Well, mental image.
Well, and that's body dysmorphic disorder. It's something it's a legitimate thing for
I do that
a lot of people.
sometimes too. It's different though. Hey, remember back when I was skinny? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a disorder.
I think I was like 12.
It's interesting though because I mean that's the same thing as anorexia, or when it comes to bodybuilders they call it bigorexia, right? It's just the colloquial.
Yeah.
Occasionally I look down and remember back when I was in shape.
Me too.
And it doesn't take long because I married Jen 7.5 years ago, and I was jacked from working the oil field, and now I'm 2 jacks.
No, I enjoy reading JT Eberhard's blog because he suffers from anorexia, but he's seeing a counselor, and some days he'll go without eating anything. He'll have like an almond and he'll feel like that's too much. Like,
there's a lot of people that fast though.
True.
Without having any disorders, so I wouldn't say going a day without eating is really indicative of anything.
That's true. That's true.
Well, I know people that have eating disorders, and they haven't had it rear its head in years, but it's still there, and they still have flashbacks, and you get flashbacks of it where not a flashback where you remember seeing something, just it's like a mental state flashback where you're back in that same mindset, and it's debilitating for people. Because they look down and their body shape is the exact opposite of what they were trying for.
That's right.
And they just get depressed.
It happens to a lot of people. I don't know.
I don't get it. Because I used to be in amazing shape. Now I'm a fat, lazy guy. I'm comfortable being a fat, lazy guy.
Well, I think
if I want to get into shape bad enough, I'll actually not give my weight sets away and actually get in shape.
I think it's like anything, though. Like, I think it actually is a chemical imbalance, and your brain chemistry is actually showing you something that isn't real, right? Like,
I don't know.
Some of it's triggers too.
It might be chemistry, but more than likely it's. I mean, there's a whole bunch of factors, right? You got your social factors, the societal norms, yada 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 yada. List goes on forever, and that's just it. Is some people, it can even be as simple as like hair, like. People that have curly hair, they pay how much money to straighten it.
True,
and people that have straight hair, they pay how much to get it curled. You always.
And people who have no hair
don't pay anything.
We just cry a little.
We just grow it on our face to compensate.
Yeah, compensate hair that way, right?
Yeah.
But that's just it. Is that there's you can sit there and if you buy into certain ideals, and that's where it can be a problem. Like, would I like to look like George St. Pierre? Sure. But I can't dedicate the hours and hours and hours of working out that man has dedicated.
No one can, man.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, he is an admitted guy with OCD. I mean, I think that helps in a certain way for him, but.
Well, he does all of that just so he can lie on top of another guy and dry hump him for like 10 minutes out of every fight.
And this is coming from a guy that likes UFC.
Well, he does a lot of lay and pray.
Yeah, that's true. But he gets the W's.
Not very exciting. He gets the W's, yeah.
But, that's just it. It's like, I mean.
Well, how long has he been versing, too?
Yeah.
Long time.
He's been versing for a long time.
Yeah.
No.
Like with the people I know, it stemmed from, well, one was an abusive relationship where they were constantly being belittled.
Yeah.
Right? And then, so when you're having a bad day or a bad week or something else affects you mentally, that can just come back. And just stack and stack and stack.
Yeah, and there's also that whole element of
so many different things that can cause anything. That's
where when you feel like you're out of control of your life, that's the one thing you can control. There's a whole volumes of stuff that could cause that kind of stuff.
I think it's an interesting subject, though. Like, I haven't done enough reading on it lately, but
we'd need an actual psychologist or something to comment on it instead of all of us pretending know-it-alls.
Yeah, no, that would be actually really cool to have somebody, a real psychologist, in to talk about it.
But then they would recommend we all seek counsel.
So, is that a problem?
They can recommend it all they want. Yeah. That's not a thing. We don't have to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't obligate us.
Yeah. And the problem is finding a real psychologist is I know lots of people that are considered real psychologists whose opinions I would not
not all psychologists are evidence-based psychologists.
No, of course not.
We can't trust Dr. Phil?
Dr. Phil is like a counselor. I don't even want to call him a psychologist. Is that wrong of me?
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
He's a television counselor.
Yeah. He doesn't really count as a psychologist.
What
No.
about that other doctor? The other doctor we were talking about last time.
Oz?
Dr. Oz. Yeah. Him, he's obviously qualified to talk about whatever he wants.
No. He can talk about body dysmorphia.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll have a
he
cure
could
for
probably
it.
even give us a magic cure for
Oh,
it.
yeah. He'll give you the right green tea to solve that.
Yeah. Okay, so we did junk food woo. Question mark. Beards don't have shit
That sounds
in
like a
them.
type of martial arts that I can get into.
Me too. Yeah.
Some poor
Yeah.
guy. Did you see the police report on that? Well, it looks like he got the shit beat out of him by the Big Mac. I don't know how that's possible, but the evidence points this way.
Did you guys see the new Hamburglar?
No, I've seen links, but I haven't watched the actual
Yeah, I haven't looked at
video
it
yet.
myself, but I know there were some people talking about him being awfully rapey. The new Hamburglar was pretty creepy, apparently. What about Pamela Geller and the Draw Muhammad event and the attempted attack by...
That wit.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't like her.
No. Because I mean the problem with it is she tried to connect it to Charlie Hebdo, even though they're
right.
You know, they do it as satire in a very French way. Meanwhile, she's just doing it just to piss people off, really.
Yeah, no, that's right.
No.
And I'm actually even more frustrated because I found myself agreeing with a Fox News correspondent.
I bet that makes you feel just a little bit dirty.
Oh, it did. It made me very icky. It was not cool. What's her name? Megan Kelly?
Yeah, that sounds about. I think that's her name.
Yeah, and most of the time, everything that comes out of her mouth is fucking stupid.
Yeah. And, I mean, as much as I see Pamela Geller as just a shit disturber.
Oh, she's...
Like, Megan Kelly was kind of on point, arguing against people like Bill O'Reilly who say that Pamela Geller shouldn't be doing this Draw Muhammad Day. And Megan Kelly's like, well, yeah, maybe they shouldn't, but they shouldn't be shot. There shouldn't be anybody trying to kill them over it either.
No.
Yeah, it might be considered in bad taste, but there's nothing wrong with doing things in bad taste.
No. But the thing is
well, at least what's wrong with it, if there is anything wrong with it, what's wrong with it doesn't warrant killing as a response.
No, and,
right.
and that same interview, they had, I don't know who the guy they were interviewing was, but he was from the Middle East somewhere originally. And
I can't remember the dude's name.
and they kept fishing to get him to admit that she deserves to be killed. And he finally said, well, if she's drawing pictures of Muhammad or saying that that's cool or whatever, then yeah, she should be subject to Sharia law and dealt
But the
with.
thing is I don't know for a fact, but I'd love to have someone point out to me where in Sharia law that it says, if you draw a Muhammad, we will be fucking killed.
Yeah, no, that's true because I
think it's just down to certain interpretations. Of
Because the thing
different
is
people.
because originally Muhammad said he didn't want to be drawn or whatever, and more because he didn't want to be elevated to the level of idolatry.
Right.
And there is...
Well, good thing that hasn't happened.
Yeah, exactly. Good intentions gone awry. But yet there is tons of pictures of Muhammad.
Right.
Historical portraits of Muhammad out there.
Yeah.
It's just, it seems to be somewhere through the centuries, it has become translated into, if you draw him, we kill you. And I don't know if that's in Sharia law or is that just
some people, what do you call them? Oh. Yeah, well, whatever. Some religious leader decided that this is what I'm going to interpret it as, and certain followers were like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds right.
No, if you live in a place ruled by Sharia law, then you shouldn't draw Muhammad. Like, I don't agree with Sharia law, but if it's the law, it's the law. If you're going to rebel, you do it as a group, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're in a place like North America where we don't have Sharia law, as a governing law, then too fucking bad.
I mean, yeah, it's a like problem with this Geller is she's part of that whole group where she's put up posters in buses and
they're fear mongers, is what they are.
Yeah, fear mongering bullshit.
Yeah,
you know, like, I mean,
there's no doubt they're fear mongers and bigots.
Well, they
but
so are Republicans. They're allowed to do whatever they want.
Yeah, they're still allowed to. The freedom of expression, as they say.
And, you know, you have the freedom to say, you're an asshole.
Exactly.
You know, but
you shouldn't have the freedom to say climate change if you live in Florida.
Yeah. That's right.
That is policy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I think it was fear baiting, and it suckered two fucking idiots.
Yeah.
To grab their guns and and they were taken down by, you know, an off-duty patrol cop or
something like that. After they injured a security person or two.
Yeah, they didn't get very far.
No.
Although, let's face facts. If you're going to try to storm something in Texas, that's pretty stupid right there. You know someone's going to be armed.
Why even bother?
You're going to need a bigger gun.
You're going to need a bigger gun.
Yeah. Why
have to go to Walmart and get a tank.
Yeah.
The music for this episode is something I'm very happy to share with you. The original recording of this episode was on May 15th, but because I did editing way too late, I already had done a solo interview for an episode of The Hardcore Skeptic with Jason Camon. Jason has been involved in a few podcasts and runs the Know the Truth YouTube channel. It's spelled KONW the TRUT as he runs it as Pastor J. He's also a very talented musician and sound tech and puts out music under the band name A Lost State of Mind. I'll be releasing my interview with Jason as soon as I get done editing it. But until then, I'll give you a small taste of his music. Here's More Than Ever from the album Forever, available at A Lost State of Mind, all one word, .bandcamp.com.
Did you guys see the atheist meme that was making the rounds?
Yes.
Where it says a man is drowning, an atheist thinks, good, he's unfit for life. The gene pool is stronger without him and continues eating his lunch. And the Christian thinks he's made in God's image. He needs help, risks his own life. He jumps in to save the man.
Now, the thing with that is, with the atheist side about the man is what? Again?
Unfit for life.
Social Darwinism.
Right. Yeah. Social Darwinism. So, if you know the person, you might be of that
unfit for life. Yeah.
You'd be like, yeah, well, whatever, fuck.
He's an asshole.
It's Stephen Harper.
Fuck him. Yeah. But
and then your typical Republican Christian would jump in to try to save him. Yeah, that's
no right. Okay. In between gasps of air, do you vote Republican? No.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Oh, I guess maybe God wants you to die.
Yeah, God wants you to drown. What's your income rate?
Why don't you just pull yourself out?
Yeah.
The notion that Darwinism is normative really...
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
I don't know where they get that from. It's a description of how things, have proceeded.
Yeah.
No, because they
not normative.
Hijacked the idea of Darwinism in the early 20th century and somehow continues to...
By creating words like Darwinism.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
Yeah. No, that's not really a thing.
I don't believe in evolution, but that Darwinism, that makes sense.
Yeah, Darwinism is not normative to all theists out there. Please take note.
I saw lots of people were arguing against this thing. I mean, it was all over the place for a day.
Yeah. Isn't this just a slightly more coherent argument than what Phil Robertson was making?
Oh, I didn't hear him.
Well, that one, that thing he made about, the...
Oh, yes. Yeah. About his...
Little rape fantasy.
Yeah, his rape fantasy. Rape and murder and decapitation fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which we actually talked about last time. Yeah. And continued to talk about for a good portion of it. Yeah. The selflessness is inconsistent with atheistic Darwinism is quite the line. I don't know what. I don't even.
Well, because they equate atheism with no morals.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no morality in atheism.
I've seen a few people who say things like, if you believe in evolution, then you must believe in eugenics.
That's what that is, basically.
Yeah. And
Darwinism is not normative.
And it's
so no.
It's such a, like you say, like one's a mentality that says certain people are fit to live and other people are not, versus evolution, which is certain species propagate themselves better than others over
over
a system
time. Of explaining how life continues to live, not
It's not a dictation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a value statement.
Yeah. It's just an explanation.
Well, and the Christians that wrote that, obviously they're looking at atheists as being, greedy and thinking they're better than everybody else. Losing words out of my head.
That's okay.
Where are they leaking out? Plug the hole.
Drip. And they blame atheists for, they call us arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if you think that you're so special that some invisible sky wizard created you and he has a special place put aside for you after you die, where you get everything you want forever, that's arrogant.
Plus, he watches you when you masturbate.
That's
and kills kittens.
Yeah. He's totally watching you when you have sex too.
If that was true, there'd be no cats.
Reminds me of the cyanide and happiness. God watches us have sex, and this God is like peeking out behind the bush, and he goes, "No, I'm not."
I saw one of those with him wearing an NSA hat. That was better.
Yeah. Cyanide and happiness is awesome. If we want to, we can talk about circumcision a little bit.
No.
Doesn't matter to me.
No.
So, someone's apparently rather touchy about it.
No, we've talked about it like twice.
Have we?
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about it again? No.
I don't remember talking about it.
Apparently,
at all.
Cory's obsessed with circumcision.
Well, apparently, it keeps coming up in these. Like, I'm in a lot
Phrasing.
of these.
Putty. Very funny.
He got to hear himself, right? No, there's lots of. I'm in a lot of these groups, right? Skeptical groups and yeah, right.
Sorry, that was a question.
Right?
I answered it.
Right? You know.
You're in a bunch of circumcision groups. Okay.
No, skeptical groups and
okay.
And they are often very adamantly pro-circumcision, which strikes me as a bit odd. And they even have labeled people who are anti-circumcision as intactivists. Like,
wow.
Like that's a label?
Intactivists.
Intactivists.
Wanting to remain intact. I think that's the origin of that.
I love how they just invent words. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, like,
do they work for Scrabble?
I'm sure I wasn't giving out any licenses to these people to invent words. I don't remember doing so.
I don't think so, eh?
I wish I could revoke whatever license they have.
Yeah. Grammar Nazi's not amused.
No, the grammar Nazi's not amused.
Do you think this is a motherfucking game?
Yeah.
I love the grammar Nazi kitten. It's one of my favorite memes.
But these people, they really are adamant that circumcision is a benefit, and they claim that the science is behind them on this. And I mean, I've looked a few times. I don't know.
At circumcisions?
No, at different articles and stuff.
At their alleged evidence.
At their alleged evidence. And I don't know. Yeah, the WHO says pretty clearly that in third world countries, circumcision helps prevent AIDS. It has some benefits in that regard. The CDC recommends circumcision as a AIDS prevention. But it doesn't seem to mention like what the first world benefit might be.
Chicks dig it.
No, chicks always think penises look funny.
Yeah, that's right.
Regardless.
What was that? That was
Robin Williams.
College Humor.
Was that College Humor?
That was a College Humor thing.
All I can think is Robin Williams.
They made the guy walk around naked. Like, okay, look at that. Does that look, funny to you? Does that look weird?
Yeah. Showed a picture of a circumcised penis and picture and the dude walking around with his uncircumcised penis. Yeah, they both look funny.
Yeah.
Robin Williams has this whole routine where he's like, then as they're sitting there staring there at your penis, and they think, oh, what's that ridiculous thing? And it's like, and if you're uncircumcised, it's a snake wearing a sweater. Or if you are circumcised, it's a snail wearing a helmet.
Yeah. It looks ridiculous no matter what you do. But yeah. So, I mean, a couple times I've been curious as to why people are so adamant one way or the other. I don't know. And
I could see parents not wanting to mutilate their children. I could see why they'd be adamant from that side.
I can see that. Like, I can see where it's, if a doctor recommended that you didn't do it, you would listen to that doctor.
You'd hope.
And
there are cases where they have to do it.
Yeah.
There have been cases.
Yeah, that's right. And there's been people later in life who have had to have it done for whatever medical reason.
Yeah.
Well, we circumcised our son, and the doctor gave us a few beneficial reasons both ways for doing it and not doing it. The biggest two reasons that we did it is cleanliness. It's easier to keep clean. The other one was if for some reason it has to be done, it's better if you just get it out of the way when they're infants because they won't remember.
Yeah, that's...
If they have to do it when they're fucking 10 years old, yeah. That's emotional scarring.
Yeah, you'd think so.
I'd be pretty damn sure.
yeah.
Hey, son, we're going to take you to the doctor. He's going to cut some of your wiener off. You coming? We'll get ice cream after. Why are you crying?
I hope you would present it differently than that.
He wouldn't. You know he wouldn't. You know damn well he'd present it just like that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You want to get some of your wiener cut off?
We'll get ice cream.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. No, yeah. We never got it done. And he's been fine ever since, so.
Ever since not doing something? He wasn't okay. And then when we didn't do something, he was fine.
He was fine when we didn't cut off part of his wiener. And he's been fine his whole life. He showers quite often and takes
You were
care.
going to say every day and then you stopped.
Well, I was going to say every second day because he does shower every second day. But quite often works.
That's honest parenting because fuck that. Every day? No. Every second day. It's
Yeah,
good
no,
enough,
that's
whatever.
plenty good enough.
Even back when I had long hair, I didn't shower every day.
You're not supposed to.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Why is it unhealthy?
It's not good for your hair.
You can't shower in the winter.
It's not good for your hair to shampoo and condition it every day, apparently.
You don't have to wash your hair every day if you shower every day. I
don't
bathe
say.
every day.
You don't
I have
say.
hair and you don't. Who's right?
That sounds like anecdotal evidence.
Well, it's just me being lippy.
He's just mocking us, follically challenged. You bastard.
You're not publicly challenged. You guys both used to have really long hair.
I cut my hair to this length about a month ago. It hasn't grown since. I'm starting to worry.
Maybe you need more potassium.
Sexuality is an important part of human growth.
It is?
Yeah.
It's also usually automatic.
Well, no, it isn't. No, and quite often it's incorporated with shame in society, and we need to have sexual, healthy people.
So as a whole, we need healing.
Sexual healing.
I didn't even have to say it.
Yes, I made the Marvin Gaye joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could use some healing. I think society's a little bit broken sexually.
Oh, yeah.
Well, have you read anything about those protests going on in Ontario because of their new sex ed classes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, briefly, yeah.
Man, it's on the Vice website. They actually had an interview with one of the guys who's really strong in the protest movement, discussing basically line by line the specific areas they're upset by. Pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
But the one part that I was like, I can't believe it came out of the guy's mouth, but he was like talking about how I can't remember where the breakdown is. Like, I think they started doing it in grade 6, 7, 8 or something like that. And anyway, the earlier classes, they started talking about masturbation, and he's just like, "Oh, this is wrong because you got telling them about masturbation, and they're just going to get all amped up, and that's how you end up with sex offenders." And he brought out one story. I guess it happened in, I think it was Britain. I could be wrong on that. Like his specific story where after the sex basically after the sex talk, the one kid was all ramped up and ended up raping a girl.
An anecdote, excellent.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. An anecdote. Yay. So useful.
Yeah.
Totally, totally indicative of human nature.
Well, that's pretty much what someone on the panel said. They're just like going, okay, even if that story is true, which, they weren't sure of, they were just kind of, that's one story out of how many thousand other people that, this has been taught to,
Well, you compare it to like the abstinence-only education in some states, and the pregnancy rates and STD rates are quite a bit out.
There was a story that just came out where I guess there's been a huge outbreak of chlamydia in Texas in an abstinence-only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, actually, I don't know how accurate that story necessarily was.
Oh, it might be
either.
one of those?
Yeah, I heard that I heard on a podcast that it was like 3 cases in a school of chlamydia, which
okay.
they counted as an outbreak. So I don't know. And they sent a letter home saying there was an outbreak of chlamydia.
Well, yeah, that's true, I guess. Anything in the media, take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. If it's too funny and too funny to be true, it probably isn't. But
yeah, but it's still. I think STD rates and teen pregnancy rates are still quite high in abstinence-only education states. And I don't know if we have any of those provinces here where it's abstinence-only education. That shouldn't be a thing.
No, I don't think so.
It shouldn't be.
Mind you, as kind of Bible Belt as we are in Saskatchewan, we're not that Bible Belt.
No way. Yeah, like the health education or sex ed has been a thing, like even when we were kids, right? So,
But I think we also have in Canada we have a more centralized bar,
kind of a standard.
Yeah, that all schools have to come to this level, and it's not specific. Each province can do their own variation, but that has to be up to this level.
I'm just trying to figure out which state it is, but a state recently passed a law basically turning them into a sovereign state where they can just ignore Obamacare or any federal thing that they want, basically.
That's a thing?
Yeah. So anywhere else, it'd be called...
treason?
Treason. Right?
Sounds like it. I mean, not that I'm really a big person to buy into the whole treason idea. But.
I can't remember if it was Ohio or South Carolina or something like that. But so basically, well, at the least, they would be ousting themselves from the union at that point, right?
Yeah, if you're just flat out not going to follow any federal law.
Yeah,
then.
so why wouldn't the federal government say, all right, fuck you, bye. Oh, you can't use our money or any of our resources or any of our
It does sound sort of like something we deal with up here.
It's never going to happen, no. Not here.
Quebec keeps talking about leaving.
If they separate and take their share...
They haven't in quite a number of years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, the block's still there.
Yeah, that's true.
But they got pretty decimated.
Yeah.
Last election.
If they did and they took their share of the national debt, all right, whatever.
And their share has to be per capita weighed.
Well, of course it does.
Either that
if it was done by area, I would be moving.
Yeah. Either that or it would have to be weighed by GDP or something.
Yeah. Either way.
No, it'd have to be because healthcare is federal. Well, it's provincial, but it's federally regulated. So is military. It'd have to be per capita. It doesn't matter what they make. It depends how many of them there are. Because it's because of people that we have debt. Right.
So if there were no people,
if only we could
debt.
get rid of people.
Yeah.
Just a quick break to talk about our sponsor, Audible.com. Audible.com is offering listeners of Brainstorm a free audiobook download and a free 30-day trial membership. Membership gives you reduced prices on over 150,000 titles for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player, and costs $14.95 per month after the first free month. Right now, I'm listening to Mistakes Were Made, But Not By Me by Carol Tavris and Elliot Aronson. I think it's an important book, and if read honestly, can change the way people look at their own thinking. To get this book for free with your 30-day trial membership, go to audibletrial.com/brainstorm. That's audibletrial.com/brainstorm for a 30-day trial membership and a free audiobook download. I'd also like to tell you about reasonistproducts.com. T-shirts and hoodies with science, reason, and atheist themes. They've got great prices and offer a buy one, get one free with the coupon code BRAINSTORM. One lucky listener can get a free t-shirt by tweeting the word brainstorm to the Reasonist Products Twitter account. That's at Reasonist, PRDCTS. Go check out their website, reasonistproducts.com.
What do you guys think of the NDP winning in Alberta?
It's amusing to watch people's heads explode because of it.
I know, right?
Canadian Texas didn't vote for the Conservatives.
Too many young people and city dwellers came out for the vote. It's quite interesting, quite amusing. And
I like the fact that they say too many, because it wasn't too many. It was some of.
the right amount.
If it was too many, then that would demand a revote.
And the Conservatives and the Wild Rose split the vote too a little bit, eh? So you had the crazies, and they each went a different direction. So.
And then
it was interesting.
Leftish middle party is left at. Yeah.
Well, because Wild Rose is kind of Alberta's answer to the Tea Party.
Yeah, that's right. They're supposedly libertarian, but they're very Christian conservative.
Yeah. They're supposedly libertarian, but nobody knows what that actually means.
I hate the word libertarian.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a terrible word.
The closest thing I can come up with to match it is capitalist anarchist or anarcho-cap, like, because they believe in no government or very little government, but they believe in big corporations, like no regulation at all on corporations. It's quite amusing, like this.
So America,
yeah, largely.
So the libertarians are all Ayn Rand fanatics.
Yeah, that's right.
At least they are in the U.S.
And I think a lot of the so-called libertarians in Canada are taking a page out of that book.
Could be.
Same way.
Well, of course, a lot of our conservatives are basically Republicans now.
Yeah.
I hate how we mirror the U.S. so much. Like, we're usually about 2 or 3 years removed on a lot of big things, but we just start mirroring whatever they do.
We never.
Does that mean we're going to legalize weed soon?
Oh, that would be a good thing.
Well, we decriminalized it.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, kind of.
John Chrétien wanted to. That was going to be one of his kind of legacy things as he was going out of office, and he got stonewalled so hard and had so much pressure from the U.S. that he just kind of let it crumble. It just wasn't worth the fight, and so it kind of went away.
So many things with the U.S. aren't worth the fight, eh?
Yeah. Because at that time, yeah, they just got.
I thought we decriminalized.
Nope, he was wanting to, but they never did. I think that's one of the things Trudeau is talking about wanting to do.
Oh, it could be.
I could be wrong on that, but I think he's wanting to do that. But
I don't know, though. He did support this Bill C-51, the one that basically the Patriot Act in North,
the Patriot Act A,
like.
I actually wasn't going to bring up that rant. That's the rant I was going to have. It was about beef or C-51.
Did you write one out?
No, I don't need to. It draws clear lines in the sand.
What's that?
Because there's never been a bill that's passed through that's had so many people in every single riding against it. Every single intelligent person that's read any of Bill C-51 says it's a terrible idea. It's had more petitions than almost anything else that's ever passed. And yet, every single Liberal and Conservative MP voted for it, even though they all had people bringing them petitions. Their job is to read petitions in the House or with their party and then do what the people want, which is the exact opposite of what parties do, which is why our political system is a big giant pile of shit. That's all I have to say about it.
I don't think you're going to get much argument from me. I mean, I haven't read about the petitions and stuff. I don't know that except for what you said there, but that's pretty fucking brutal. And yeah.
like in the election, I'm only voting Liberal because I don't want Harper.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm not voting NDP because they can't win federally. Otherwise, I'd vote NDP.
I think the last poll had the NDP in the lead.
If we all vote NDP,
Dave's
it's possible.
nodding. Let the records show Dave's nodding.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we all know people, I'm sure, who have decided to switch from Liberal to NDP because Liberals supported Bill C-51. I know. At least I do.
I'm just going to vote for whoever's not Harper, whoever has the best chance to win and is not Harper.
Yeah, take a look at the local polls and see, well, okay, who's not conservative and can win.
Yeah, strategic voting, I don't know if that works very well, but
it works very well to keep someone out of power.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily get who you would really, really like into power.
Yeah.
But it definitely will keep somebody out of power. And I think
if we're all voting strategically, we may as well have a fucking two-party system.
Yeah.
We do.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
You tell me the last time that somebody that wasn't a Liberal or a Conservative sat in office.
It was getting dangerously close under Leighton.
Yeah, that's right. It was getting close.
They say every vote counts, and that's actually bullshit, too. Voting's important if you want to get somebody else out of office. Sure. In my riding, I happen to be in the riding of the most well-liked Liberal MP in the country. Mm-hmm. And I hate him. I despise him as a politician. And he's going to win. So my vote doesn't matter because he will win.
Yeah, in a sense, eh? Yeah.
No, and I should. His decisions don't affect me personally. The Prime Minister's decisions affect me personally. I should be able to vote for him, not for whoever the MP is.
Because the weird thing is in theory, I'm going to get rude.
There you go.
Yeah, that's
the first word of a political debate. The first word. In theory.
Yeah.
Politics work.
Yeah. Well, the idea being is actually the Prime Minister is supposed to be head of the party. You're supposed to be voting for the party.
Yeah.
Which is part of the problem.
Yeah.
But then do you go the American route where you vote on the president and then he can't do shit because everyone opposite him is different party? You know?
Well, except in the States, you have 50 fucking governors, right? And they all have they have way more power than a premier has, like ridiculously more power.
Well, yeah, because
so they can tell him to go fuck himself. Here, if the Prime Minister calls our premier and says you're doing this, it's like yes, sir.
Well, not exactly, but we have a much more centralized government. Yes.
So if it's more centralized, why don't we get to vote for the guy that's in charge of the center of the government? That's what I'm saying. In the States, voting for the president should be less important than it is here because the governor actually has more power.
Yeah, well, down in the States, it's more of it's a popularity contest, basically. Whereas here, the idea is you're supposed to actually be, when the Prime Minister's running, it's supposed to be, this is our party's platform. This is what we stand for. You're supposed to vote on that. And that the Prime Minister is supposed to represent the party's platform.
Well, and that's the exact biggest problem with it. So what if a guy that actually is like, who was I talking about earlier for the States? Bernie Sanders.
Bernie, yeah.
What if we had an equivalent to Bernie Sanders and he was an independent? And he'd been in politics for 50 years, and everything he's ever said has been on par with what he's saying now, where he's never deviated. And everything he says you agree with, or you agree with almost everything he says. And he has a platform that makes more sense than anybody else. And he will never be able to be prime minister, even though everybody wants him to be, because he's not part of the Liberal or the Conservatives. Right? So it's a popularity contest. It's whoever the NDP elects as their leader is who we get to vote for. So we don't even get to say a say in who becomes the leader of that party.
No, because once again, you're supposed to be voting for the party, not the person. That's not how it works, but that's the idea. So,
And of course, as soon as the prime minister takes office, he loses party affiliation.
Not.
That
shouldn't have to say not.
For a podcast that didn't want to get political, this is really political.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
No, that's right.
Our governing system worked in 1864.
It did?
Sure.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Unless you were outside of unless you were on the fringe, right?
Well, the fact that we haven't really changed the system in 150 years. No, we've come a long way since 1864.
This makes me think of...
we have cars now. We can fly through the air like magic.
Yes,
and we have
like
phones
magic.
that send signals to outer space. Where we're still voting the same way we were doing 150 fucking years ago.
We're not doing anything else like we were.
Before we cured fucking polio.
Yeah.
And we have more people casting votes on American Idol than casting actual votes. So,
but part of that could be because they're
Idol's dead
disenfranchised. Yes, canceled.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. This is true. They still got one more year to limp through, but yes, they have been canceled.
Yeah.
And just like the States, our government has less and less trust from its people and more power over them. Yep. It's the most retarded thing you could think of in a place where you live, where people aren't going out and voting to oust things. Like, I can't believe we're so docile. It's retarded.
But somebody else will do
all
the
get
work.
our guns after the podcast and march to Ottawa.
Somebody else will do the work.
But marching to Ottawa doesn't matter because we only have say with our MP. We just have to go over to wherever the fuck his office is and just burn it down.
Just burn it down.
Great. Now I got Simpsons in my head. When they're in Australia. Go talk to your MP.
Yeah.
I don't know whose riding you guys are in because you're in Weyburn. Do you have an MP, Liberal?
Probably not. Not in Weyburn.
I don't think so. Not right
in
now.
Weyburn.
No. Not a Liberal one yet.
Nah.
Somebody has got to step forward for the election, right?
Yeah, somebody's going to run. Yeah. Shit, I did it once.
Like somebody has to. We have to have more than one person to vote for. Right?
Who's a Liberal in your riding?
I'm definitely Goodale.
Yeah.
Ralph.
I hate Ralph Goodale.
What's wrong with Ralph?
He's the one that ignored 7 fucking emails and 2 phone calls.
Oh, so it's personal.
Yeah. No, it's because they're supposed to reply to people questioning them in their writing about rules. If you actually go to the government website of Canada and look at the responsibilities, it's the second one. Is to answer.
I'm so cynical that I'm just like going, you think they actually read those fucking things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I envision them all getting elected, and then it's like Simpsons, where it's like I'm supposed to get 2 comely lasses. You're not supposed to put squirrels down your pants for the purposes of gambling.
That's a rule that nobody follows. Nobody cares about that rule.
Pause for break.
Pause for break.
So before you pause. So if every single MP is going to vote the exact same way as every other MP that's in the same party, why do we have more than one rep? What's the point? Why do you have MPs? Why not just have the leader of the Liberals and leader of the Conservatives and vote for whichever party you prefer?
Why don't we simplify it? Cage match.
Let's just do direct democracy.
That won't work.
We can all vote on the issues ourselves because
a person is smart, people are stupid.
People are stupid, yeah. That's the
only drawback with democracy.
Okay, so that's it for this episode of Brainstorm. All the relevant links will eventually be posted in the show notes. I'm so far behind on them now, I'm not sure there's much point in apologizing anymore. I know that all 4 people who listen to the show will be looking for the notes, so I will get caught up sometime. I've got a different kind of podcast shout out this episode. I'm a member of a group called Pages Unite, which is for admins of geek-oriented Facebook pages. It's mostly pretty quiet, but recently the admin for a couple pages put out a share-for-share call for his new podcast. I told him that not only would I share his new podcast on my geek page, Too Hardcore for This World, but I would also share it on the Brainstorm page and give it a shout-out on the podcast. Blacker Than Black Times Infinity is a geek-themed podcast with a panel of 5 friends, all with cool aliases. Cthulhu's Prodigy, Blue, Cronus, Old Ninja, and Stitch discuss games, comics, anime, and TV shows and movies. I suggest you check it out. They're available on iTunes, and I'll post a link to their Facebook page in the show notes. If you want to keep up to date with our show, come on over and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/brainstormpodcast, or follow us on Twitter at brainstormpod. This show was recorded in Roman Empire Studios, with intro music provided by David Roman. For ad-free episodes and extra content, keep an eye on our Patreon feed. Just go to patreon.com/brainstormpodcast and become a patron for just $1 an episode. I'll produce ad-free episodes when we reach 5 patrons. Any new patrons will get a shout-out in the next episode. And when we reach 10, I'll go back and start producing bonus content. As usual, I'll mention that we're only recording 1 time a month as a group. But if we can manage to reach $100 an episode, then we can go back to recording every 2 weeks. If you can't afford to help us out on Patreon, go to iTunes or Stitcher and give us a rating and write a review. You can go and buy Brainstorm gear from cafepress.ca/brainstormpodcastgear, or go to our website and click on the Cafe Press link. Keep an eye out for our various t-shirt campaigns. I'm always designing new shirts and putting them up on T-Chip for a limited time at a wicked good price before adding them to the Cafe Press store. Right now we have 4 designs up for grabs on T-Chip. The details are on the Facebook page, and remember to send us pics of you wearing your Brainstorm gear. We will definitely throw them up on the listener page. I got a few more things to mention before I let you go. The first thing is the non-conference in Kitchener, Ontario. Tickets are still available, to my knowledge, at www.thenon-conference.com, and it's happening on August 21st. Speakers are Lawrence Krauss, Armin Navabi, Christine Shelska, and Stephanie Gatormson. I'm sure it'll be an awesome event. I wish I could make it. I also need to tell you about the River City Reasonfest in Winnipeg, Manitoba on September 19th and 20th. They've got great speakers that include Greta Christina, Tracy Harris, and PZ Myers. Tickets are available at early bird prices and for students right now at rivercityreasonfest.org. And finally, I want to tell you about our local event. Brainstorm Podcast is sponsoring Saskatchewan's first Shift to Reason conference in Regina. Tentatively booked for the end of April 2016. We've looked into a venue and we're looking into speakers. But right now we're looking for support to get things moving. We've got a hefty goal of about $12,000 that will make it possible for us to fly in great speakers and offer a classy venue with great sound and video capabilities, as well as offer a lunch to everybody who comes. Any contribution of $120 or more will reserve a ticket for when they become available. We're currently in the process of developing different levels of business and organization sponsorships. You can go contribute to our event at gofundme.com/shift-to-reason. That's all one word, Shift to Reason. Links to all those events and websites will be in the show notes. Oh, and that's it. We want to know what you love and hate about the show. So if you've got any comments, criticisms, praise, accolades, or corrections, I can't emphasize corrections enough. If we get something wrong, we want to know. mail us at mail@brainstormblog.net or go to the website brainstormblog.net and click the contact tab. We will respond to you, whether it be in an episode or through a reply email. That's it for now. Have a good one.
We're
gonna make Cory edit all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Like, Cory takes forever between episodes anyway. Somehow it was Cory's a dick.
He was saying he hardly edited anything out of the last one at all.
Was that because he didn't want to edit anything out, or was that out of laziness?
I don't know. We'll have to make
Fuck
sure.
Cory Johnson.
we'll have to make sure.
Just making sure you have to do some editing.
I missed that curveball. That was way left field.
That was a joke that nobody got. Not
A
that
lot
I was
more.
expecting that.
Well, you weren't even expecting the website. I just like, oh, here's a website.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
had
was,
no say in it, and I named it without any input from you.
Yeah.
Now you have to use it.
I was looking into websites, but you did it.
He means he was surfing porn.
Yeah,
That's what we all assumed.
looking into websites.
I was doing some research on the internet.
On the internet.
Internet
All
is
by
for
myself.
porn. The internet is for porn.
We just wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel, any guests, or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast, with the possible exception of Cory, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.